Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on-point, no hype reviews. We are back yet again with a video that I'm sure you guys are gonna be like, oh, just by looking at the title, I know what's going on. If you are from the Dua brand group, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Dua. This is actually my first Dua video in a while because, you know, the last time I did a Dua, they actually cut me off from the free supply when I talked about the Neff's clone not being close at all to the original, and that was it for me. They stopped sending me Duas when that happened. But today I'm going to talk about some stuff because I think this stuff right here people already know, but there's nobody that's stepping up to say this thing. We're going to talk about the topic about Dua doing too much fragrances, doing a lot of fragrances. Now, as you guys know, I'm busy with my own life. I don't get into this Dua drama or whatever it is that they're doing over there. But when I last checked right here, a lot of people were hating on this brand because they're doing too much. They are making tons and tons of iterations of fragrances that are actually, you know, we don't know if that's actually what it really smells like, or do people really know what they're smelling. But apparently they are doing too much. And I'm going to address that because today there was an incident that I think really links to this topic right here. Now, before I continue, guys, do not forget to like and subscribe, especially if you are into the truth when it comes to fragrances, or at least close to the truth, or as much as I can. And of course, we're not gonna get the 100% accuracy all the time, but I do try when it comes to reviewing. Let's talk about Dua fragrances for a minute here, okay? Dua fragrances, I made a video when I started this channel because I called out something that was absolutely true at that time, and that was that there were a lot of people that were super mega biased. They had a reviewer over there that was super mega biased, ridiculous, that's also a moderator in the group. And of course, you know, I had to call it out because I said, man, I don't think it's gonna be exactly what these guys are saying. And so I started this task of actually reviewing the fragrances now. There were some people that lent me their fragrances. I have a lot of fragrances from Dua that I actually bought. And then there were some that were sent to me eventually by Dua. But actually, when they were sending it to me, I was actually complimenting the owner because I said, well, you know, they're putting their name on the line. They're putting it out there. But I guess it's come to the point right now where we realize that that's not the goal, okay? The goal is not to make fragrances that smell exactly like the original. It's not that. It's to continue the hype train. That is just the business right there, the business strategy to continue the hype train, keep people in the Matrix. If you guys like the Matrix movie, keep people plugged up in the Matrix. And if there's anybody that tries to wake them up, shit, send them all the way out. I said this before, I went out on this task to review Dua fragrances. And you know what I realized? Dua fragrances actually also a good brand. They've got some nice smelling fragrances. Actually, some of their originals are some of those fragrances that I actually wear until now. And the projection, the sillage is true. It's actually pretty amazing. But the thing is right here, guys, when you modify those things, when you modify sillage, projection, and again, you are keeping this current group really happy with that. Well, what happens is that a lot of their fragrances that are actually clones do not smell the same as the original. Take first and foremost the Ottoman Breeze, which is the Hachivat clone. Supposedly, you know, I mean, the hype was supposed to be really high on this because Hachivat is so amazing. You know what, guys? Ottoman Breeze does not smell like Hachivat. They were not even close when it came to that, guys. But then they had some really good ones like that Modern Elixir that they came out with. I mean, I really sang the praises up in the heavens about how good that fragrance was. But guess what? It's not like that all the time, guys, okay? And that's probably why they try to shut me up and try to shut up anybody that says anything otherwise. Anybody that says, well, it's not really exactly the same, they're gonna do something about it. And that's really what happened right now. So I have a friend right here. This is the story that really like triggered me today. I have a friend who's actually has a really high paying job here in LA. We've met in person and he lent me some of these Dua fragrances that some of them really did not smell exactly like the original, and we actually agreed on that. And then he had this one fragrance and he said, you know what, I remembered you had the original to it. I really hate this fragrance. I don't like this fragrance. But you know what? Here, try it. See if it's really original or it's really close to the original. Why don't you try it and review it? And at that time, guys, I was actually starting my nursing career. So I was actually, you know, going night shift, and there were times where I would be sleeping like the whole day. And so it was, you know, quite a long time, and I admit that was quite a long time that I wasn't able to review this video. So anyways, after that long time, I met him again in person to return some of those fragrances. And I said, well, here you go, bro. I'm so sorry I couldn't review this. I know you wanted me to, but I can't. And he said, dude, do you want to keep it again? Okay, there's no time limit. He didn't say return it to me in a month or a month and a half. He didn't say anything like that. My understanding was, you didn't like this, you don't like this, and you make enough money that you don't need to sell this right now. So I took it and I said, okay, I'll review it again. My wife placed it somewhere when she was cleaning the car. So I said, you know, I'm gonna look for it. And now he's looking for it now. He wants me to pay him on PayPal if I can't look for it, which is fine. But why is that? That's probably because he bought another 10, 15, 20 Dua fragrances like a madman because it's part of the hype train, and now he needs to finance it. That's how it is now with Dua. You will see people really selling a lot of bottles, and they're probably ashamed to do it. They're ashamed to go on the Facebook group and say, I have to sell like maybe 20 of these because I realize it's not for me. Why is that? It's because you actually fell for the hype. When I buy fragrances, guys, I actually test them first. And if I blind buy, it's because of my experience really with the notes and the combination. And that's the beauty of it. It's like imagination. You imagine what it's gonna smell like when you blind buy. It's actually fun. If you're buying several, 7, 8, 9, 10 bottles purely on imagination, and that's what Dua's running, imagination. They're doing hybrids to make you imagine, oh man, Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel together, that's really amazing. And then you'll realize, holy shit, I have like 20 bottles of stuff. I'm going broke on this stuff. This is ridiculous. So, do I think they're doing too much? Going back to the topic, I think they're doing too much. I think that as of this point, Dua Fragrances is all about the hype train now. I don't even think it's about the fragrances anymore. I don't think it's about cloning fragrances at this point. I really think it's about continuing the hype train. They probably are cashing in on a lot of these people plugged up in the matrix that right now, what their strategy is not even making exact fragrances or really great fragrances. All it is about is really keeping those people in the matrix. And people like me, well, in the Matrix movie, you'd probably call me Agent Smith, but I'm just going to call myself Neo for actually liberating Zion. Well, keeping people like me out of commission, keeping me out of the Dua Facebook group, not talking to anybody in the Facebook group, and sharing my videos on the Dua Facebook group. Because probably, oh man, he might actually say something that's truthful and wake these people up. Some of this actually sucks. Some of this is actually not close, especially Nishane Nefs, that clone that they had. I don't know how many messages I got after like 2 months saying, well, after it has macerated, guy, does it still smell the same? Does it smell the same as Nefs? Well, I'll answer that because I never answered it there. No, it doesn't. It doesn't smell like Nefs, and it smells like bug spray. So I hope some of you guys can get to watch this. I'm not here to influence anybody. If you guys want to be in the matrix, plugged up right there, and eat up everything they're sending you, go ahead, guys. That's really fine. But I'm gonna call it out there in the internet space because that's really what it is. A lot of people are afraid to say it. Well, I'll kind of say it, that a lot of you guys are in the matrix. I'm not. So goodbye, guys. Goodbye, Dua. Peace.